This is Buick Century for 1983, representing modern front-wheel drive technology applied to a mid-sized car. The Century you see here was first introduced last year, so there have been no major changes in the car for 1983. However, a number of significant refinements have been made, particularly in the engine, but also in some exterior detailing. For instance, most exterior and interior colors are new. In the program you're about to see, we'll take an in-depth look at these changes, but also we will examine the total car. Century is something special to Buick and potentially to you and your customers too. So let's take the Century walk around. Let's begin this walk around right up front. There are two reasons why the Century front end looks the way it does. First, because it looks good. But even more important are the aerodynamic considerations. The entire hood, grille, bumper, and fender area combine to help give Century an extremely low drag coefficient. This means that Century cuts through the air cleanly, with relatively little wind resistance compared to some other cars. This aids the fuel economy of the Century. Let's take a close-up look at some details. Tungsten halogen high and low beam headlamps are available on Century this year for a whiter, brighter light. Park and turn lights are now amber colored. Bumper guards are standard on Century to help protect the car against low-speed impacts. Bumper rub strips are also standard. The integrated body-colored bumpers are mounted in a way that allows them to help absorb slow-speed bumps. One new available feature on Century this year is front lamp monitors, so that the driver can tell at a glance whether all headlamp elements are operating. Now let's look under the hood. An inside hood release is standard. That's an important anti-theft feature. An engine compartment light helps you see under the hood at night. Now, the basic engine in Century is a 2.5-liter inline four-cylinder with electronic fuel injection. Now, the EFI replaces the carburetor with a throttle body injector and an electronic control system to meter the fuel much more precisely. This year, the standard Century battery is this new Delco Freedom 2 Plus for added cold cranking power. The black and silver color complements the new black engine, adding design appeal to the engine compartment. Rack and pinion power steering is standard on the Century. Rack and pinion is a very precise, accurate steering mechanism that doesn't take a lot of turns to go all the way from side to side. Standard Century transmission is this 3-speed automatic with a converter clutch for added efficiency. If your customer hasn't shopped a new car in the past few years, you may get a question or comment about the numerous wires and lines running through the engine compartment. The fact is that modern automobile engines in Buicks are more efficient than those of just a few years ago, while they burn fuel much more cleanly. An important principle behind these improvements is improved ignition and fuel control. The fact is, there's at least one computer in every Buick. The computer command control that regulates air-fuel mixture. It's up behind the instrument panel. Like any computer, it's only as good as the information it receives. And that information comes from numerous detection points in and around the engine. Thus, the wires and vacuum lines, neatly routed through the Century engine compartment. Let's move around to the right front wheel and talk about some important product features and benefits. First, these are fiberglass belted radial ply tires. Notice that the wheel and tire sizes have been standardized at 14 inches. Now, this gives the car a higher, more solid appearance. These are low rolling resistance tires, by the way, which means they move down the road more easily. And this adds to fuel efficiency. By the way, this is the new styled aluminum wheel, which is available on the Century Custom and Limited. It's standard on the Century T-Type. Aluminum makes for a lighter wheel, requiring less energy to push it around, also adding to fuel efficiency. Let's pull the wheel a minute and look behind it. These are front disc brakes. They're low drag caliper brakes, which means that the caliper retracts to minimize caliper resistance while the wheel is turning. This also contributes to fuel economy. As you see, Century uses a McPherson strut front suspension. This is what allows the use of a transverse front-wheel drive, because the suspension is out of the engine compartment. By the way, these are maintenance-free wheel bearings, so no lubrication is necessary. Okay, let's put the wheel back on and see what else your customers need to know about this Century. First of all, notice the wheel opening molding. It helps protect the sheet metal. Also, it looks real sharp. As with all our car lines, there's plastisol under the paint, here along the rocker panel and up the doors. It helps protect against stone chipping. The color-coordinated protective body side moldings help protect your Century from parking lot dings. The belt reveal moldings are a standard styling feature, as are the roof drip moldings. Finally, look how attractive a utilitarian body can be. Why do I say utilitarian? Because the main reason behind Century's handsome profile has to do with aerodynamics. The fact is that the sloping hood and the high-shouldered trunk combine in a wedge shape, which is excellent for cutting through the air, besides looking terrific. Let's go to the rear of the car now. The first thing you notice is wraparound tail lamps. This is a distinctive Buick look and provides for lots of side visibility at night. Also, while we're back here, remember that both the bumper guards and the bumper protective strips are standard on the integrated body-colored bumpers. Let's look in the trunk. First, notice the trunk light. That's a plus value. As you can see, the trunk is very roomy. Note that the flat floor adds to the usable interior trunk space, and it conceals a space-saver spare. Now, this spare isn't intended for long-distance driving, only until the owner can get the regular tire in for a repair job. I should also mention that this spare is light in weight. You combine it with a side lift scissor jack, and it makes changing a flat tire easy. Let's look underneath for a minute. This is a trailing arm rear suspension. The rear shock absorbers have pliocell bags in them. This is a very up-to-date shock absorber innovation that gives you uniform shock operation, which contributes to Century's smooth ride. Let's move forward. Let me open the back door for a minute and show you one or two things. First of all, notice that the lights come on. In many cars, the interior lights don't come on unless the front door is open. Also notice that the Century buyer gets rear armrests. Again, something that doesn't come with every car this size. Also, the rear ashtrays are standard. Let's move on. First of all, notice this standard black finish rearview mirror. It looks good, and it's shaped for aerodynamic efficiency. Take a look at these seats for a minute. You might point out to your customers that these are full foam construction, very comfortable and durable. Oh, by the way, leather trim seats will be available on Century this year. Hear that electronic tone? That's Century telling you that you left your key in the ignition. It makes the same sound to remind you to fasten your seat belts. Well, be sure to mention to your customers Century's side window defoggers to help keep the side windows clear on cold days. One more point before we get in. Century offers cut pile carpeting front and rear as standard equipment. This is a luxurious floor covering, thick and soft and durable. And it's what we call mass-backed carpet, which means it offers a premium in sound insulation. Let's get into the Century for a minute and look around. First, take a look at the interior lighting. Courtesy lights, map light, ashtray light, glove box light, in addition to the hood and trunk lights we saw earlier. Notice these flush-mounted rocker switches to control the lights. The map light, the optional rear window defogger, and this rheostat control to adjust the instrument panel lighting up or down. The windshield wiper washer control is a part of this multi-function lever, which puts many controls literally at the driver's fingertips. You don't want to have to search around for your windshield washer control, nor do you want to stamp around on the floor looking for the high-low beam button. You want them right here and now. The optional cruise control with resume feature is located on the multifunction lever for the same reason. By the way, the cruise resume light is still a Buick exclusive at GM. It's located on the indicator light panel, right in front of the driver. Standard radio on Century is this Delco 2000 series AM radio with digital clock. If your customer doesn't want it, it can be deleted for credit. Of course, there's a wide choice of Delco sound systems available to the Century buyer, all the way to a cassette tape player and electronically tuned AM/FM combination with built-in graphic equalizers. This has been a brief overview of the many features and benefits Century offers its owner. Century has quite properly been called the family car of the future. It's a 5-passenger vehicle offering modern technology, aerodynamic efficiency, impressive fuel economy, and great style. Now, point out Century's many features and benefits to your customers, and then take them for a test drive. It will truly be the drive of the century.